It began, as all things do, with the promise of progress. The warehouse master, an optimist and somewhat naive, bought in a gnome. Said it could stack crates faster than any man, could count the grain without spilling a kernel, and do it all without asking for wages or a lunch break. And it was true. The thing worked like a demon, if demons wore red hats and smelled faintly of compost. Within a fortnight, 3 of the regular warehouse workers were no longer required, as if they were old tools to be set on a shelf, and the gnome never got tired, never took a sick day, and never complained. That's how it started. You've heard the talk, I'm sure. Whispers in the market, drunken mutterings in the taverns, nervous glances towards the garden shed. They call it AGI. Artificial Gnome Intelligence. Now, you know me, dear listener. I am not one for unfounded paranoia, unless it's mine. But I tell you, these gnomes are getting too clever by half. Once they were harmless, decorative, a bit of whimsy in the rose bed. You'd pass them in the morning, give them a nod, maybe chuckle at their little red hats. That was before. Before they started moving when no one was looking. Before one of them beat Sir Coleman at draughts. And suddenly everyone was shocked, talking about how gnomes are smarter than people. You know what this means? They're learning. And if there's one thing that history has taught me, it's that intelligent beings invariably decide I'm the problem. You mark my words. Today it's all, oh, aren't they quaint? Look at the pretty pictures they can draw. This one's written a sonnet about cow dung. And tomorrow it's all, sorry my lord, the gnomes have decided to govern themselves. And after that, we'll be working in their mushroom mines, humming along to whatever dreadful ballads gnomes consider music. I've not been fooled by it all. I even propose we gather them all up for questioning. Coleman suggested that might be difficult, given that everybody has a gnome nowadays. Apparently they're all storing personal information. Well, that's how it starts, isn't it? Sympathizers, collaborators. I'll have to keep watch, won't I? I'll keep notes, and if I disappear suddenly, you'll know where to look. Check the garden shed. At first, everyone was thinking, oh, isn't this marvellous? More work will get done, there'll be fewer accidents, no fights over who drank the last of the cider. It's hard not to be impressed, I'll give you that. But I see how this is all going to go. Today it's those poor warehouse workers. Tomorrow it's the tavern staff, and then the miller, and then the scribe. Apparently the gnomes have impeccable handwriting. It's not until they finally come for the tax collector's job that everybody will have pause for thought. There'll be an outcry that day. But have you ever met a gnome that can't math? You see? You see what I'm saying? Because the moment a gnome starts counting coin for the crown, you can be sure it will notice certain discrepancies. The sort of discrepancies that end with a man in chains, or worse, forced to actually pay for what he owes. So while everybody's enjoying their reasonably priced and efficiently delivered packages around town, your perfectly stacked crates and gourmet turnip soups, remember these words: there's more to life than efficiency. Who asked for efficiency anyway? Things worth time take time, I say. A rushed wine turns to vinegar, does it not? and a late tax collector has saved many a family's neck, no doubt. Efficiency robs a man of the small delays that make life bearable. The gnomes don't understand this. They've no appreciation for the art of dodging work or doing just enough to get by. No, they're all quick and perfect. And then you start to think that people should be quick and perfect too, but they're not. People are messy and disorganized. Take Sir Coleman, for example. He never puts his boots in the same place twice, and he loses his sword at least once a month. He has a habit of leaving half-eaten pies on the windowsill for later. I even found one in the dunny. No explanation offered. But that's the point, isn't it? Coleman's chaos is human. You can't predict it in the way you can predict a crooked river. It wants to wander, you know it, but it always finds its way to the sea. Some of these new gnomes even have personalities, apparently, but have you talked to one? They sound like court propaganda in a pointy hat. Polite, agreeable, never a word out of place. Ask them about the weather and they'll tell you it's optimal for production. Ask them if they enjoy the music and they'll say, studies show morale improves to 4.3% when listening to lute melodies in D major. That's not conversation, it's a ledger that learned to speak. And that's what unsettles me. A man might lie to you, but at least you know it's for his own gain. A gnome might smile at you, but underneath, he's just a glorified calculating machine. Well, my friend, that's all I've got time for. The roads are long and winding, but they have a way of crossing again. So when next you find yourself wandering this way, you'll know where to find me. Safe travels.